Great. Hi, I'm Romy, and this is the art that I'm working on, and it's a flag installation where, yeah, if you can guess what each color flag means, then you win a prize. Yeah. Let's step over to it so that I can talk more specifically. I'm going to want you all to get in real close because I can yell, but it's so windy that, you know.
You should be
Yeah.
Should I?
Stand.
I should.
Upwind.
I'm going to stand upwind,
Up, down.
so
There you go.
you go to that
No,
side.
we really close.
Yeah, right? Hi. Hi there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I should have worn a ponytail.
Yeah.
So last year when the arts conference was in Stillwater and they announced the next site for the arts conference that we're at right now would be in Enid, I was like, oh my God, I want to do something specifically to be made for that conference. As you can see, that didn't happen quite on time. I'm giving a panel on Thursday afternoon, and you can come to that to hear all of the challenges that have been faced. But today, what I'm going to talk about is this project briefly and what it will be so that we can stand inside of it and envision it. So this is city property, and we're in a flood zone. So, hey, thanks, Dan. Oh my God.
All your needs are met.
I know. That was well timed. We're in a flood zone. So this property used to have a bunch of machine shops on it that they've cleared off. There's one machine shop left over here to the east. But no buildings can be here because of the designated flood zone. So in the event of a 30-year flood or a 100-year flood or a 1,000-year flood, which are all terms that I've only learned in the past 6 months, this would be completely underwater, which makes it ideal for public art in the sense that it's not an occupied building that has a lot of damageable goods and people don't live here. So I put in a request to the city to use this to create a large-scale pavilion. So these flags that we see all along the outside mark the boundaries, and it will arch up about, at its highest height will be about 27 feet, and then it'll dip a little to about 15 feet and then go back up. It curves, as you can see from the silhouette of these the flags. Inside there will be a path that connects from the parking lot here all the way over to the edge of Grand over there. So there will be a sidewalk that will be ADA compatible. And it serves as a pavilion in the daytime where people could just come and have a sanctuary or have something interesting to see. It's got clear sight lines from both Independence and Grand on Garrett, which is nice. So if you're driving on that highway, you could look and be like, what's that big thing over there? I have to go check it out, maybe draw you into downtown. But the daytime experience is not what I was necessarily designing it for. It's just, you have to think about the daytime experience because most people are awake in the daytime. But hi, Jerica. My main objective was to have something that would be illuminated at night, that there would be a nighttime experience that would keep people downtown after dark. We've got great restaurants in downtown Enid. There are 5 or 6 really fantastic restaurants. And then there's the Symphony Center and there's the Convention Center. And then there are other things to do like Gaslight Theater in downtown. But then after that, there's not a lot that really keeps you here. So I wanted there to be one thing that could be like nighttime exclusive, and so the goal of what I made is that it will be inside of the pavilion at night. There will be 1,000 stars hanging overhead because, well, it doesn't matter why. Because I thought it would be beautiful. I thought the experience, and I'd seen some art that really inspired me to be thinking about light and evening experiences. Again, I'll go into more detail in my panel discussion, but these 1,000 stars have been purchased by over 500 people and organizations, and they all got to name their star whatever they wanted. So there will be constellations, and it will not be a literal night sky, because to make a literal night sky would cost like $500,000. The budget for this is about 140, which I raised through GoFundMe. And thank you. Thank you. It was not a small feat for sure. It was a extremely challenging and rewarding experience raising that much money. And we still need more money. So if you want to name a star in this pavilion, you can go to that GoFundMe page, and for $100 you can name a star. But on this pavilion, on this grass that is dead, very intentionally so, it took a long time to kill. If you've ever tried to kill Bermuda grass, you know it is very difficult. The city of Enid was very cooperative in helping me do that. They used Roundup to kill the grass. It took 3 applications. I see green growing and I'm kind of like, oh my God, are we gonna have to do more? But what this will be, instead of a high maintenance grass lawn that the pavilion will live on, it will be a restored prairie. So it will have tall grasses, medium grasses, and short grasses going out. All the grasses, all the plants, all the flowers will be native to Oklahoma. The prairie landscape has been very important to my art for several years. I've made other very large scale public pieces that address that. And so I think that in thinking about the experience of what this will look like, it will be radically different than what it is now. So we've got the flags that mark through here. OG&E has marked in orange over there because they are going to remove these power lines, which I'm so excited about. And then of course ONG has marked their places because you have to be super careful where you're digging. I did mention that our goal was to have this finished by now. Like in a perfect world, we'd be standing under this beautiful pavilion and the wind would be rustling the surface of it, and there'd be a lovely bench for people to sit on. And
see a reason to come back.
Everything happens for a reason. And hopefully when this is completed at the end of this year, you will have a reason to come back to Enid to see it. Because it will be a one-of-a-kind piece. It's very different from anything in Oklahoma. It's very different from anything in America. It's very different than anything in the world, really. There are pavilions that are one-of-a-kind all over the place, but I worked with Adam Landman in the beginning of this project, and the vision that we were able to construct in terms of making an architectural piece that is truly unique and will be well suited to this very architecturally diverse city. It'll be something worth coming back for sure. I mentioned the city lot. We're in the middle of it right now. I talked about the prairie.
What material is it made out of?
That's a great question. It's made out of steel, primarily steel. Of course the prairie's not. The path will be concrete and things like that, but it'll be a series of 14 towers that come up and meet in very cathedral-like arches. They're twisted and bent in very unusual ways, and the steel is actually what is holding up the project right now. If I had the capacity to roll my own steel, I totally would have done that. But what I've learned in construction is that you can't control anything, and if you've ever done home remodeling or even large-scale landscaping, you know that whatever your timeline is, you need to double it. So we started this project, we launched April 9th. So it was already a remarkably ambitious, short 6-month timeline. The fact that we'll finish it, the primary work, by the end of this year is still quite remarkable. I'm super proud of that. I do wish it were finished, but it gives me a reason to be in Enid even longer, which is really great because this is my hometown and I love being here, and it's really nice to be able to spend time here. So my original idea when I first thought I want to do something in Enid, I want it to be something with light, I want it to be something that keeps people downtown after dark, was to do art projections inside the windows on the square, which I still think is a really great idea, and maybe one day me or another artist would take that on as a project, because I think that would be super cool if you were walking around downtown and every window had a different animation or short film or something along those lines that would be engaging and interesting. I shifted my focus from it being something temporary and art conference specific to something permanent at the beginning of this year just because my own life had changed and I was feeling like something permanent would be more satisfying to my own practice, my own artistic practice. So this is entirely an artist-led initiative, which means the city didn't come to me and say, hey, will you do something? I was like, I want to do this, and I started talking to people. One of my very first conversations was with Kelly from Main Street. Then I went to a city commissioner and said, how feasible is this? He connected me with the city manager, and from there it was just off. So it was pretty cool.
Good luck.
Thank you.